Alright guys, welcome back to another recap, another green day. I have no idea what's happening. At this point I am surprising myself. So another green day today. I'll show you guys the calendar right here and then I'll show you the actual P&L. So I've never had an all green month. Mondays were 2 holidays. So technically I got an advantage of 2 days less in this month. But I still got 1, 2, 5, 7, 8, 9. 9. I still have 9 days to go in this month. That's a lot, to go 9 days in a row from now on is crazy, but I'm not aiming for it. If I get a red day, I'm gonna call it. I'm not gonna try to aim to go back to green, but it's just how it's going, and so it's been a heck of a start to 2023, and I'm pretty excited about that. So as far as today's P&L goes, I am finishing up 847. So $847. I mostly traded Tesla. I took an OTRK trade, which I was up in the green, almost $100, and then came back down and stopped me out. And I was in like 2 or 3 minutes early because I thought this thing could squeeze. And so I didn't end up re-entering this trade, but the next time it ended up squeezing. So for everybody that's new to these recaps, thank you guys for stopping in here. Hopefully you guys kind of understand the trades that I'm taking, where I'm taking them, and all that stuff, and so you guys can learn as well. If you guys do get some knowledge, hit the thumbs up on these videos. Leave some comments down below if you guys are new, if you guys like this recap, what do you guys like or what don't you guys like. And all of that. I also stream live every single morning. You guys can go watch and see every single trade that I'm going to explain live in my YouTube videos. So just go to the live sections and you can see every single time I've traded live. I think almost a year now back every single day. So I definitely recommend you guys doing that as well. If you really want to put in the work, that's definitely where you're going to see me trade. In the back in like history every single day it's there. As far as tomorrow, I stream live every single day, but tomorrow's going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to be streaming on my YouTube channel, and I'm not going to be streaming on Tradecaster because I'm doing a co-stream with Sean Deckmark. So he's a pretty big trader, puts up some pretty big numbers, and so I'm actually going to be streaming live with him together on his stream. So if you guys want to do that, you guys go and look up Sean Deckmark on YouTube, or you guys are going to have to go to my Discord, and then tomorrow morning I'm going to be posting that link in my Discord so you guys can go and watch me there trade with him. And so it'll be lots of fun, and it should just be for tomorrow. It's the first time I do this, so just tomorrow is going to be the only time I'm doing this. But Friday I should be back to my channel, my YouTube, my Tradecaster, and you guys can talk to me there and chat as we trade. So enough talking, enough rambling. Let's go back to trading. So Tesla is the one that I've been trading every single day, and honestly it has been paying me crazy. So chased it the last couple days. We mentioned that it was at that 123 level where it could break out. So if you go back and look at the bigger time frame, I mentioned this a lot of the times, several times in my stream. You have that 123 level, right? That 123 to 124 where we could not break. We couldn't break. Finally we broke out, and that was yesterday, 2 days ago. We ended up going on a nice run, went from 123 all the way up to 137. So that was a pretty nice run. But today it went a little too much, a little too extended. We ended up gapping up from 131 to 137 and a half. That's $6.50 per share on Tesla. So my first thing is, the daily is extended. That's 2 gap fills. Tesla's overextended. Let's look for the short on Tesla. I didn't think it was going to pull back this much. I thought it could pull back and close the gap, which would be right here at that 131.70. So where this closed yesterday, or the high of day yesterday, 131.70, somewhere around there. I thought this thing could pull back down, close the gap, and then maybe hover here and then still hang out pretty strong on the daily. But this thing was just so heavy. Anyways, so my first trades on the day were up here. Kind of found this quick little bouncy area here on pre-market. So when we sold off right away, pretty aggressive. As soon as this thing started popping up, I ended up clicking the short sell button. Now, unfortunately, and I don't know why I did this today, I actually ended up trading Tesla with a smallest share size. So I think the most I took was 1,600 shares, and you guys will see it right here. 1,600 shares once, that's it. 400 shares here, but then I played 200, 200, 200, so I didn't scale in big. Yesterday I was hitting way more, double than that, triple that. I was hitting 2,000 shares, 1,500 shares like nothing, and I didn't do that today. So the fact that I still made $850 with like a third of the share size is actually really good. So I traded very good today. took that short there on that pop up, ended up pushing back down right away, so I ended up covering right away. I think I made 200 bucks on this one. Kind of was still flagging here, so as soon as it tried pushing up, reversed, I was like, okay, let's go lower, so I ended up playing it there for the break of low of day. Got that move there, popped back up. This entry right here was absolutely top tick, picture perfect again. I had a one on Tesla yesterday too, but nailed this stop there. I don't know why I'm jumping in 200 shares. That should have been one to be a 500, 1,000 share trade, and finally got a move that, you know, I could have held comfortably. If I would have taken this aggressively, this is one that I would have definitely held pretty comfortably. So you see, I'm shorting at 135, which is way up here. 135, got the move down to 133 and a half. That's $1.50 a share. It's still way down here, 133, and then still went all the way down to 132. So that could have been a $3 trade there that I ended up botching it up with 200 shares, but it still paid me nice, so I'm happy about that. This right here was the only loss that I took, so I tried chasing it back up. I saw this candle there close pretty strong and then kind of reverse. So at that point I was like, I don't like it. You know, it seemed like it should have gone after this candle here, should have gone back down to close that gap, which was my target, that 131.7. So let me go ahead and put that again, 131.7, so you guys can see what I was looking at. So somewhere around here, I'm just going to put it there. So I was looking for that to go back down. Didn't happen there. But then I also had this, let me go ahead and move this out. I also had this, another flag happening here with this pivot earlier in the day, right here. This candle. And we couldn't get over it, couldn't get over it, couldn't get over it. You finally did and stuffed, and then finally did again, didn't close above it, finally did again, and absolutely got murked back down. So at this point, I was like, you know what? This does not want to go up. This is going back down to 31.70. So I ended up jumping again on this candle here as it's pushing up. Again, I think only 200 shares. I don't know why I did this. This should have been another $500, $1,000 trade here, but couldn't get it. Shorted there and then absolutely dropped down like a rock right into my 131.7, which at this point also made the mistake. You know, that was my target. I was kind of blindsided, so I was like 137.7, 137, 131.7, 131.7. As soon as 131.7, I was like, boom, I'm out. You can see it right there, 131.9, and then sold underneath 131.37. But this thing still dropped to 129.5, so an extra dollar there. And even if I would have kept runners from any of these here, or there, you know, this thing still went down to 129. So I left a lot of money on the table today. But, you know, this is going to happen day in, day out. This is going to happen a lot when you're a day trader. You're going to have plays like today where, oh, I had my momentum scanner. Sorry, guys. You're going to have plays like days like today where, you know, it just, you're gonna leave money on the table, and you gotta be okay with that. You know, sometimes you're gonna try to capitalize, and some days it just gets out of you, and that's okay. You can't beat yourself up about it. The OTRK trade that I took long was right here. This stock tried pushing in the morning. Tried flushing in the morning, kind of held it. Tried flushing again, tried holding it, and so as soon as it perked itself up right here over my key line right there, 109, I took an ad there. It started going, and then kind of stuffed real quick. Well, what is that? Oh, that's weird. Kind of stuffed, and so I stopped out right there. I think I was up like $100 here, but stopped out. I should have re-entered, or especially reclaim of 109 right there. Should have re-entered. I didn't, and then this ended up squeezing. I thought this thing could squeeze. Now, on that squeeze, I ended up going short, and so I'm going to show you guys my shorts. I think I shorted. I tried shorting out of the halt, but I got filled right before the halt. Or I tried shorting before the halt, and I did get filled, but that was small size. And then I shorted more up here, but this was my botch trade. So I'm just going to pull down the... Whoa. Didn't mean to maximize. I'm just going to pull down the chart and show you guys. So this is that first trade. I ended up shorting. I kind of got psyched out of this one. I got scared. I thought this could squeeze. So I ended up covering there and ended up pulling back down pretty nice. Somebody on stream did end up nailing this trade short here, and he wrote it back down. I think he covered down here pretty good, and then it popped itself back up. So that was crazy. But then this thing did go into another halt. I ended up shorting the resumption of that halt as soon as it got super heavy. This one was definitely a good trade here, so it made up for this break-even trade plus more and covered there a little bit. Covered majority down there, and I'm not even going to complain about it, but I keep making the same mistake. I didn't mean to cover fully. I meant to cover the majority and leave my runners because I actually had to go out, leave my house for a little bit. And I was like, I'm just going to put a stop at break even and see what happens. But I ended up covering full size right there, so I was fully out. But ended up helping me out in this scenario because this thing is not going anywhere lower. It actually came back, so I would have been, less profit on this trade. And then the other trade that I did take was ATXI. Now this one is going to be a smaller size trade, and the reason why is, for one, I'm not shorting high, I'm shorting low, so that's already riskier. And two, I'm going for a different type of setup. I'm going for the floor wash, kind of like that support to finally give out and you just get a nasty dump. This stock tried pushing up, rejected pretty hard. You could tell there was a lot of sellers here. There's a lot of sellers in that area. There was a lot of sellers again, rejected pretty hard. And at this point, I thought, that's two stuffs on the stock. Buyers cannot hold this up. If this thing does not hold up, this is going to get that floor wash out of here. This $2 kind of holding it, 205, 210. And if that happens, this thing can drop pretty hard. And so I ended up shorting it there. Again, this was a small share size trade, so I didn't even make half of what I made on the other one at all. But I got the green trade out of it, and definitely was a good trade. I could have held a little bit longer too. It looks like I covered mostly at 1.9, still dropped to 1.75, so another 15 cents lower. It's 15 cents could be a lot of profit too, but I did not expect this one to work out, honestly, and so I ended up fully closing it out on right there. I just didn't think so, but anyways, it paid out, so I'm happy with that. So that's it for me today. Remember, guys, tomorrow I will be streaming on the other YouTube channel. You guys join the Discord link down below so you guys can watch, and then Friday I should be back to trading here, and everything should be back to normal. Other than that, guys, appreciate you guys watching this recap. If you guys are still trading for the rest of the day, be careful. Keep your green day, or try to minimize your red day, but don't try to go big red to green. Not going to happen. Find the good setups tomorrow. So with that being said, you guys take care, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.